Anyway, let's listen to what Kamala has to say. We're tuning in. I said she has no Riz yesterday, and many people yelled at me. Hopefully, this is her first campaign appearance. There's more people here than before. I think we've seen a lot of momentum for Kamala from young people, new people, just like specifically people that are excited that there's a new person on the ticket that's young. So we're going to be looking at that right now, and we're going to see if she can actually deliver. I don't have a lot of confidence considering, you know, I remember her 2019 campaign, but we'll see. You were being a little too hypercritical yesterday. No, I wasn't.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, Wisconsin. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. It is good to be back. Thank you all very much. Can we please hear it for Leah and her extraordinary story and leadership?
I saw the 1834
do
poll.
God's work. They teach other people's children, and God knows we don't pay them enough. Let's thank Him. And it is so good to be here and be back with so many extraordinary leaders, including my friend, the great governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers. He's here somewhere. My dear friend, Senator Tammy Baldwin. And you know, I had the privilege of serving with Tammy when I was in the United States Senate.
There's no
And
captions,
she is
Chad.
always fighting for the people of this state, and I know that the folks that are here are going to make
Do we
sure
have a live link with captions, chat? Maybe there's a live link that has auto captions on.
Yes, we are going to elect her back to Washington, D.C. It is so good to be here also with Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Attorney General Josh Cole, Wisconsin Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski, Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Attorney General Josh Cole.
Good. This one has
Wisconsin
captions.
Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski, County Executive David Crowley, Mayor Cavalier Johnson,
Bro,
and
she's
the
just
great
flexing.
State Party Chair Ben Whitler.
Bro, she's just flexing. She's like, look at all the names I can remember. This is a flex on both Donald Trump and Joe Biden, by the way. Like, no memes. She's basically flexing on both Joe Biden and Donald Trump right now by demonstrating that she's capable of reading and remembering people and reading names.
As many of you know, our state campaign headquarters are in this city. Yes, and there's a reason for that. The path to the White House goes through Wisconsin. Yes, it does. And to win in Wisconsin, we are counting on you right here in Milwaukee. And you all helped us win in 2020. And in 2024, we will win again. Yes, we will. So, Milwaukee, I want to start by saying a few words, and I could really speak at length, but a few words about our incredible President Joe Biden. It has truly been one of the greatest honors of my life to serve as Vice President to our President Joe Biden. Joe's legacy of accomplishment over his entire career and over the past 3.5 years.
All right, you're done glazing, Joe. No, wrap it up. Wrap this part up. We don't want to hear it.
In one term, think about it. In one
We don't want to
term,
hear about Joe,
as
Kamala.
president,
We don't want to fucking
he has
hear about
already
Joe.
Surpassed the legacy of most presidents.
I can't be
who
alone
served
in this.
2
Wrap
terms
that
in
up. Wrap
office.
that shit up. Never do it again. Don't ever do it again. You're done. You're done with that. You're fucking so done with that.
And I know we are all deeply, deeply grateful for his continuing service to our nation. And it is my great honor to have Joe Biden's endorsement in this race.
It's so dumb if she basically runs with like, I'm continuing Joe's legacy over and over again.
So, Wisconsin, I am told as of this morning that we have earned the support of enough delegates to secure the Democratic nomination. And I am so very honored, and I pledge to you I will spend the coming weeks continuing to unite our party so that we are ready to win in November. So, friends, we have 105 days until Election Day, and in that time, we've got some work to do. But we're not afraid of hard work. We like hard work, don't we? And we will win this election. Yes, we will. So as Leah told you, before I was elected vice president, before I was elected United States Senator, I was elected Attorney General of the state of California, and I was a courtroom prosecutor before then. And in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abuse women.
Yeah, she's gonna talk about like this
fraudsters.
This is a solid way to be like, listen, as a prosecutor, I was not locking up black moms for truancy, and I wasn't actually fucking doing all the cop shit that you hate. I was doing cop shit that's good.
I know
okay?
Donald Trump's type.
I'm telling you right now, if she fucking angled that for Netanyahu, which would never in a million years happen, but in a world where like she goes, listen, you know, when I was a cop, I was actually a good cop and not a bad cop. Misleading claim says Harris jailed. I'm not even talking about the marijuana thing. I think it was like 49 people total that was actually jailed for marijuana possession. And regardless, it still doesn't matter. It's still fucking dog shit. And we don't even know if they were actually all black or not. But it doesn't matter. That's not my point. She's saying the same shit as yesterday. I know. Okay.
As Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's...
She needs to be angling the top cop shit. This is a very tricky narrative, okay? Because of her, you know, obvious demographic background, she has a significant advantage for black and brown voters, especially going up against the Republican Party. In the primaries is different, but when you're going up against like the Republican Party, then all of a sudden you have this opportunity to galvanize the base of support from black and brown communities. Beyond that, the cop shit actually probably plays well to the white voters who would be afraid of her as a black woman, the +9 educated white men demographic that went back to Trump immediately after the Kamala announcement in the suburbs. That's an important fucking constituency, okay? That she is going to be able to win over by being like, I was a cop. I prosecuted fucking offenders, sex offenders, shit like that. So basically, that does a decent way to deflect the many different avenues of attack that are going to come against Kamala Harris, specifically as a top cop, okay? Because that's going to happen. Republicans are going to cynically talk about how she was a horrible prosecutor, she was a bad cop, all this shit, okay?
And he is trading access in exchange for campaign contributions. A couple months ago, y'all saw that a couple months ago at Mar-a-Lago, he literally promised big oil companies, big oil lobbyists, he would do their bidding for $1 billion in campaign donations. On the other hand, we are running a people-powered campaign. And we just had some breaking news. We just had the best 24 hours of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history. All right? And because we are a people-powered campaign, that is how...
No, you're saying grassroots in air quotes. 60% of the donations that came through Act Blue were first-time donors. And yes, the Act Blue donations are actually individual campaign contributions. So those are Rich people, poor people, doesn't matter. Those are actual individual donors. We're not talking about the PAC money. With the PAC money that she gets, it goes up to like 250 million or something with like the people that said that they're going to actually pay into the campaign. But the almost 80 million in donations come from individual donors.
But to get ahead.
There is a max cap of $2,700 on that front.
Where no child
So
has
no
to
matter
grow
how
up in poverty.
wealthy you are, when you're doing it through the Act Blue portal, those
Where
numbers are
every
maxing
worker
out at
has the freedom
2.7.
to
That's
join
it.
a union.
Do you understand? So like even the wealthiest American, when they're
every
donating as an
person
individual
has
donor,
affordable
can only donate $2,700. That's like the maximum. A lot of people don't know this though.
Childcare and paid family leave.
I love this. Okay, good. This is good.
We believe in a future where every senior can retire with dignity. So all of this is to say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Because here's the thing we all hear.
You think Kamala will actually get the minority
When our
vote?
middle class
Yes.
is strong. America is strong.
Yes, dude. Of course. Like, what do you
But
mean?
Donald Trump
Joe
wants to
Biden
take
was
our
getting
country
it. Why
back.
wouldn't Kamala Harris get it? Democrats will always win these communities. Like, that's.
Will weaken the middle class. Like, we know we got to take this seriously. And can you believe they put that thing in writing?
Olayemi put a
It's
great
not
video about why she thinks
outrageous.
Kamala's dead on arrival. Worth a watch.
But
We'll
here's the
see.
thing.
I'll watch it.
When you read it, you will see Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and make working families foot the bill. They intend to end the Affordable
I just
Care
joined. Have
Act.
you said all that you want to say about Sonia? No.
And
I haven't
take
said
us
anything
back
about
then
that
to
yet.
a
I just
time
started
when
and Kamala went
insurance
live. We'll
companies
talk
had
about
the
that
power
later.
To deny people with pre-existing conditions. Remember what that was like? Children with asthma, women who survived breast cancer, grandparents with diabetes. America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back. We are not going back.
I will say, remember what I told you? I like Biden's message, but I hate the messenger because he was dead. So, like, it's still the same message, and the messenger is not dead, so it's objectively better. Having said that,
And I'll tell you why we're not going back.
it's still not there yet, but it's getting better.
Ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom. Generations of generations, and we have to remember this.
Oh,
The shoulders on which we stand, generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. And now, Wisconsin, the baton is in our hands. We, who believe in the sacred freedom to vote, will make sure every American has the ability to cast their ballot and have it counted. We, who believe that every person in our nation who should have the freedom to live safe from the terror of gun violence, will finally pass red flag laws, universal background checks, and an assault weapons ban.
Kamala doesn't read as a
And
boomer,
we,
Chad. She's
who
59.
believe in reproductive freedom,
But she doesn't read as a boomer at all. She's very like youthful.
will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans because we trust women to make decisions about their own body
Like,
and not have
Yeah.
their government tell them what to do.
Kamala Harris is 59 years old, and she literally doesn't look a day older than 40. which is wild.
And when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms as President of the United States, I will sign it into law. So, Wisconsin, ultimately in this election, we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? A country and to your point, do we want to live in a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law? Or a country of chaos, fear, and hate? And here's the beauty of this moment. We each have the power to answer that question. The power is with the people. We each have the power to answer that question. And in the next 105 days, then we have work to do. We have doors to knock on, we have phone calls to make, we have voters to register, and we have an election to win. So, Wisconsin, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
Definitely a lot better than yesterday's speech. Definitely a lot better than yesterday's speech. You can see the energy reflected back in the crowd. Obviously, it's a little bit different than a Wilmington office full of like sobbing campaign staffers that just found out that they most likely won't be able to secure their cushy position in the upcoming White House, versus a crowd of people who are very excited to not have a corpse running. I will never forgive and I will never forget how much the fucking media tried to act like almost every Democrat that's like under the age of 78 was not begging to replace the fucking ticket with anybody. Okay? Kamala Harris is far from the most charismatic, telegenic, and uniquely revolutionary Democratic Party candidate. And yet, the fact that Kamala Harris has brought out this much momentum for the Democratic Party is proof enough that, like, virtually everyone wanted this. And of course, it happened in an undemocratic fashion. Ironically enough, it was the Democratic Party for the first time in my lifetime actually operating like a party. And I fucking told you this. I told you that the Democrats were going to respond positively to any change whatsoever. Okay? Any change whatsoever. People were begging for it. And it only happened, and I can't believe I'm saying this, because of fucking Big Dog Pelosi. She fucking busted that shit out, dude. Big Dog Pelosi and the actual establishment Democrats were like, we can't do this. They saw the polls. They were like, no, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. What the fuck are we doing? And they actually did something very surprising. Okay? They actually acted like a party, not to rat fuck Bernie, as chatters are pointing to, which is, you know, correct. That is when they acted like a fucking party, like Labor in the UK, kind of. But this time, they acted like a party to actually abide by the wishes, like the stars aligned in a very unique way, where the voters' wishes and the donors' wishes and the Democratic establishment's wishes aligned. It was a very weird moment. I've never, in my lifetime at least, ever had this much agreement with fucking Nancy Pelosi and like the Democratic Party's like big ticket donors. Think about that.
La 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 la, no DMCA, la 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 la, no DMCA.